Hey, my friends, we will be right back to the show. But I have a question for you. Are you struggling with the impact of childhood trauma? Well, know that you're not alone. I'm here to let you know that I'm starting a brand new weekly coaching group that includes a year of life coaching, accountability, support, habit and goal setting, and more. I'm starting a waitlist for the group right now, and I'm only taking a handful of people. And I'll let you know that through this personalized coaching, we'll work together to help you understand how your childhood trauma has shaped your beliefs, behaviors, emotions, and will help you create a roadmap for healing and growth. Right now, you can schedule an absolutely free coaching session with me and get put on the wait list if you go to thinkunbroken.com. My friends, it's your time to turn your trauma into triumph, breakdowns into breakthroughs, and become the hero of your own story. And I'm here to support you in doing that. Just go to thinkunbroken.com to register for a free coaching call with me and to get put on the wait list for the brand new weekly coaching program. We'll be right back to the show. But before we do, I want to tell you about today's sponsor, factormeals.com, where if you go to factormeals.com/unbroken50 and use the code unbroken50, you can get 50% off your first order. That's factormeals.com/unbroken50. If you're like me and you are a person who is busy trying to create a life, heal, work on their health, wealth, and relationships, and not to mention deal with the day-to-days of normal life, you do not have time to be going to the grocery store and trying to figure out what you're going to cook every single day of the week. In fact, one time I did the math and I realized I was spending over 15 hours a week at the grocery store and cooking. When I added Factor, I got to use that time for myself, for my family, for my friends, for my community, and for my business. And so if you're in the place where you need some more support in the kitchen, head to factormeals.com/unbroken50 and use the code unbroken50 to get 50% off. Hey, my friends, we will be right back to the show. But I have a question for you. Are you struggling with the impact of childhood trauma? Well, know that you're not alone. I'm here to let you know that I'm starting a brand new weekly coaching group that includes a year of life coaching, accountability, support, habit and goal setting, and more. I'm starting a waitlist for the group right now, and I'm only taking a handful of people. And I'll let you know that through this personalized coaching, we'll work together to help you understand how your childhood trauma has shaped your beliefs, behaviors, emotions, and will help you create a roadmap for healing and growth. Right now, you can schedule an absolutely free coaching session with me and get put on the wait list if you go to thinkunbroken.com. My friends, it's your time to turn your trauma into triumph, breakdowns into breakthroughs, and become the hero of your own story. And I'm here to support you in doing that. Just go to thinkunbroken.com to register for a free coaching call with me and to get put on the wait list for the brand new weekly coaching program. Hey, what's up, Unbroken Nation? Welcome to the Think Unbroken podcast. I'm your host, Michael Unbroken, and this podcast is about helping trauma survivors let go of the past, overcome their fear, discover their identity, become the hero of their own story, and ultimately to be unbroken. Our goal in company is to bring on guests and experts in the fields of mental, physical, and psychological health to help you overcome the past, to take back your power. And in this podcast, we are unedited and unfiltered, and we're going to give it to you real so that you can start to create massive change in your life. If you're curious about learning more outside the podcast, you can get a free copy of my book, Think Unbroken, at book.thinkunbroken.com. That's book.thinkunbroken.com, where you can get a copy of my #1 best-selling book, Think Unbroken, Understanding and Overcoming Childhood Trauma. The most important thing that you can ever do, my friends, is show up for yourself, and that's where you are today. And I appreciate you. I have massive gratitude for you. And without further ado, let's get into the show. We'll be right back to the show, but before we do, I want to take a moment and tell you about my new book, Unbroken Man, a man's guide to being the hero of their own story. I sat down a few months ago and realized that there are so many men in the world that need guidance, that need support, that need to learn about trauma. removing themselves from toxic masculinity, breaking down the barriers to vulnerability, getting unstuck, and ultimately learning the tools to become the hero of their own story. Unbroken Man is available for pre-order right now if you go to men.thinkunbroken.com, where you'll also get access to over $1,000 in bonuses, including the 6-week in-depth trauma healing coaching app, which you'll get instant access to. I created Unbroken Man to be accessible to everyone around the world, but it is written for men from the guise of a man, and I hope that you will find it to be a practical tool on your healing journey in the same way that thousands of men around the world have. So check out men.thinkunbroken.com to pre-order, and until next time, be unbroken. What does my daily routine look like? It's questions that I get all the time from people. Like, how do I maintain? What's up, Unbroken Nation? I hope that you're doing well wherever you are in the world today. I'm very excited to talk to you about something brand new called the Unbroken Warrior Daily Challenge. So, as you may know, I have an app called Think Unbroken in the App Store and on Android. If you're watching, you might be able to see this. And there's a free course when you first download the app that you can take. It's free. It's a 7-day course. But I want you to do something else. I want you to join the 66-day Unbroken Warrior Challenge. And this challenge is very simple. I mean, I literally made it as simple as I possibly could. And first, I'm going to tell you how to download it real fast, and then I'll tell you how you can join the challenge. So first, what you need to do is go into your app store, whether it's Android or on the Apple Store, and search for Think Unbroken. So it'll look just like the Think Unbroken logo, just like what I have on my jacket if you're watching. If you're not, it's Think Unbroken. It's a TU. And you're going to download that app. Now, when you download that app, you're going to create a profile. It's very simple. Your name, email. You've done this before. When you get in, it's initially going to throw you right into the 7-day challenge, right? But that's not what you're joining with the Unbroken Warrior Daily Challenge. So when you go in the app, you're going to hit settings, and it's going to say enter ID. Enter an invite ID. And you're going to click enter an invite ID, and you're going to type in UWDC. UWDC, the Unbroken Warrior Daily Challenge. You're going to hit submit, and it'll say, congratulations, you've joined Think Unbroken. Now, let's talk about what this actually means. So people are always asking me about my routine, how I stay focused, how do I stay mentally prepared, how do I manage the facilities of the day-to-day of all the different ways that I'm being pulled in all the different directions. And it's actually this challenge that I do every single day that gets me there. So you guys may know my backstory about having a whole bunch of journals. Recently, I switched over to journaling in an iPad, which I really, really enjoy. And then I've been journaling on my paper notebooks for years. I got 5 of them over there right now. But I thought to myself, you know, what if I could give you guys the same thing that I do every day? And then I said to myself, what if I did something even better, where I gave it to you, where you could come in every day for free into the Think Unbroken app, and more importantly, be able to do the things that I have discovered and that I hope you will discover as well that have changed my life. And so it's segmented into 2 parts. You'll get a notification in the morning and a notification at night. These are the same things I do every single day, literally every day. In the morning, it's going to say morning. It's very simple. There are 8 prompts. This is how I start my morning. Every single day, I put my feet on the ground and I tell myself, I am in control of my life. That's where we start. You're just going to every day just put your feet on the ground and say, I am in control of my life. There's a little prompt here. It tells you to do that. But what this is, you're creating these synapses and these firings in your brain to help solidify positivity as soon as you wake up. Because one of the things people do all the time, they always say, I'm not in control of my life. My life is chaos. That is not how we start our day, guys. That's not how we do this. What you do, you put your feet on the ground, you say, I am in control of my life. Automatically, that's an affirmation. And it's a reminder of the same thing that I always tell myself. If I want to have the life that I want to have, it's no excuses, just results. And so that comes from being able to put myself in a position to be successful literally the second I get up. And then we get into the questions. The first question you're ask yourself every day, and this is a tracker, so you're going to be able to look at the data that you're putting in every day. The goal, and this is where it's going to get interesting for a lot of people. The goal is to do this every single day, period. To push yourself to do this every day for 66 days. Why? Because when you go look at research, it points to 66 days really being the fine-tuned, bare minimum entry level to creating habitual changes in your life. Now, I know you've probably heard of 21-day challenges and 30-day challenges and 75 hard, all these things which are phenomenal and great, and they're all about one thing, right? It's about accountability. But I always felt like they were kind of missing the mental health aspect of this. And that's why I created this challenge, because I want you to think about, are you actually setting yourself up for success every single day? And for many of us, unfortunately, and I would obviously put myself in that category from time to time, that answer is no. But when I started doing this years ago, everything changed because I realized like I had to do this day in, day out, no matter what, right? And so very first thing, you got to challenge yourself to not hit the snooze button. Do not hit the snooze button. I know how much you want to hit it. It's warm and it's cozy and maybe you're cuddled up next to somebody. I get it, respect. But someone told me something that I'm going to tell you that was like a baseball bat to the face for me. And they told me hitting snooze in the morning is hitting snooze on your dreams. And I was like, whoa, that's heavy. And that changed things for me in ways I cannot even explain, because I realized like, wow, I am hitting snooze every day. Wow, I'm not actually giving myself the ability to be successful. I remember not that long ago, I was hitting snooze like 4 or 5 times a day, right? You go rewind a decade ago, 4 or 5 times a day. That's 30 minutes of my life gone forever, right? If you hit snooze, you're hitting snooze on your dreams. So the first question is, did you hit snooze? I'm going through this real time with you guys, right? Oh, I wish you could see this. If you're watching, it's kind of blown out. But I'm going to hit no, because I did not. And then I'm going to hit save. This is the same thing you're going to do. This tracks every single day. So you're going to see in your dashboard, that this pops up. Tells you what you did. Number 2, did you make your bed? Did you make your bed? I know how silly it sounds, and people go, why do you want to make your bed? Because if you can make your bed, you have already, and I've talked about this on this show many times before, so I won't go too deep, but if you can make your bed every single day, you've already set yourself up for success. Most people will not make their bed, and it is the little things in life that matter, because how you do anything is how you do everything. And so challenge yourself. Spend literally the 36 seconds that it takes to make your bed. It'll change your life. So I'm going to hit yes, and I'm going to hit save. Now we get into kind of the moving aspects of my day-to-day. So every single day after I wake up, put my feet on the ground, get out of bed before snooze, make the bed, I drink water. This isn't that. I'm not going to be like, drink all your water, do all your exercise, right? We will get there, but not yet, right? What you're going to do instead is, here's where I start my day, in meditation for 10 minutes. And 10 minutes goes so fast. And people are always like, well, I don't know how to meditate. I'm going to tell you how to meditate right now in one sentence. Sit down, focus on your breath, and when you get distracted, come back to your breath. That's meditation. It's about focus. It's about creating an avenue of focus in which you are controlling what is happening. So I did an experiment in April. And I said to myself, I'm actually not going to meditate for the month of April. And I could feel the chaos ensuing, right? I could feel the lethargy of life kind of getting me, the unmotivation, the place where I'm like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to show up for myself. And I did not successfully make it the entire month of April without meditating. I had to. I just couldn't make it. I was so frustrated. I was so antagonized. I was just feeling like not like myself. And so I made a decision. I'm going to go back to meditation because it works, because it helps you do something very simple, especially if you're like me and you're dysregulated. You've had a lot of traumatic experiences in your life. It just brings you back to center. And so it's about for 10 minutes. Did you meditate? And then you just put it in there. You put on the time. I meditated from 5:15 to 5:30 this morning. I should say AM. And you can count it in here. It's boom, boom. Hit that, hit save. Piece of cake. Very simple. And then that'll track. Your goal's 10 minutes. That's it. And then next, so you know I talk about this a lot, journaling. Like journaling is a huge, huge, huge part of my life. Even when I wasn't meditating, I journal. That to me is arguably the most important thing that I do, because it just gives me a place to dump whatever is on my mind that day. And the day is going to vary. It's going to be different. So one of the things that we did is we created a space where you can journal in your phone. So right here, you can just press in there, it says write your answer, and you can just type. Just go in there. I actually like that, especially if I'm traveling or, if I forgot a notebook or something. But generally I'll go to the iPad and I'll just write in there for 10 minutes. It could be anything. Sometimes it's nonsensical. Sometimes I'm writing poems, which are not nonsensical. Let me be clear about that. Sometimes I'm writing poems. Sometimes I'm just writing ideas. Sometimes I'm just writing about my emotions. Sometimes I'm writing about past events. Doesn't matter. It's just about taking some of the weight of your brain and getting it out and just putting it on paper or here. And then, so after that, I go to reading. And I read at least for 10 minutes every day. Generally speaking, it's longer than that. I'm normally around half an hour a day because I want to consume, I want to learn, I want to educate myself. And so you ask, did I read for 10 minutes? And then you'll move to gratitude. Go look at all the research on gratitude. I won't get into it here because you have probably heard this a bazillion freaking times. But, the research on gratitude is so potent because it's true. Like when you can be in a place of gratitude, you cannot hold other emotions in the same space. And so if you're happy, if you're excited, if you're like, I'm grateful for water. I mean, that's gratitude. Do you know how amazing it is that you can just get water, you can just go to your kitchen and turn it on? That's unbelievable to me. Have gratitude for that. Have gratitude for friends, for family, for yourself, for showing up, for I don't know, chapstick. It's weird. It's not gratitude doesn't have to be these big grandiose things. It just has to be a reflection on what you have in your life that you're grateful for. And it's so easy to not be grateful. It's so easy to be like, life is so bad and the world hates me and everybody is against me. I get it. I've been there. But trust me when I say, if you just sit here and you come up with 3 ideas in the morning, easy. They could be one word. You just say, what am I grateful for? I'm grateful for water, for chapstick, for air. That's gratitude. Be grateful because those things keep you alive. Chapstick doesn't keep you alive. It might keep me alive, but not most people. And then the last question, this to me is one of the most important questions of my day, is what are 5 things that I can do today that move me towards my goals? What are 5 things? 5 things are not that many things, so I'll give you context, just breaking it down in terms of what's happening in real time. So I've got one major goal in my life. We'll be right back, but I wanted to take a quick moment to tell you about the Think Unbroken 6-week trauma healing coaching program. If you go to coaching.thinkunbroken.com, that's coaching.thinkunbroken.com, you can sign up for the 6-week daily Think Unbroken Trauma Healing Coaching Program. In this program, we're going to go over the 6 principles of healing trauma, adaptation, understanding the impacts of trauma, how to become the hero of your own story, what to do next, and ultimately what it means to be unbroken. For more information about this 6-week coaching program, which you can download as an app on your phone and take with you everywhere, no matter where you are in the world, it's interactive. It's built about giving you practical tools that you can use in real time. And if you're ready for what's next in your life, go to coaching.thinkunbroken.com. Again, that's coaching.thinkunbroken.com. Now let's get back to the show.
Run a marathon. Your goal could be to read a book a week. Your goal could be to lose 5 pounds. Your goal could be to gain 5 pounds. Your goal could be to go do stand-up comedy. Your goal could be, go on 3 dates. I don't know. Everybody's goal is different, but I'm always thinking to myself, what are 5 things that I can do today that move me towards my goal? So if my goal is to end generational trauma, and every single day I need to do 5 new things, I ask myself, okay, what do those need to look like? And so this morning, my 5 things were, I need to record a podcast. I need to coach my team. I need to go and build out this aspect of the app called the Unbroken Warrior Daily Challenge. I need to make a video about the Unbroken Warrior Daily Challenge, and then I need to give it to my team so that they can produce it. Those are 5 things that I needed to do in order to move me towards my goal. And that's it. That's how you start your day. If you are paying attention to yourself, and if you're following through, and if you're executing, then honestly, you can do this in about 36 minutes. You probably do it a little bit sooner, but I don't want you to cut corners. Those 10, 10, 10, the meditate, the journaling, the reading, those are so important. And I know what you're thinking, who has that kind of time? You do, if you choose to. And the only way that you're going to choose that time is you have to make a decision about your life and what you're willing to do to have the life that you want to have. And if having the life that you want to have is about showing up every single day no matter what, then that means that you cannot make excuses and that you need to find the time. So if you have to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, you may need to contemplate getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning. There's always excuses, guys. I get it. I've made them all. You don't end up at 350 pounds smoking 2 packs a day, drinking yourself to sleep because you're not making excuses. This I promise you. And so find a way. How important to you is it that you live life on your terms? How important is that? Because if it's not, then just stop listening to this, stop listening to the podcast, stop being a part. It doesn't matter. Because if it's not important, you'll never accomplish it. You have to decide that it's important to you to show up every single day, no matter what. So that's the morning. Like I said, you do that about half an hour. You have half an hour in your life. If you don't have half an hour, I teach this to my clients all the time. If you don't have half an hour, you don't have a life. It's that simple. And you must go and create that. So that's the morning. So let's get into the evening. The evening for me has always been about reflection. The evening for me has always been about taking inventory of what's happening. And the evening is just a series and a set of prompts of 5 questions. It's very simple. You can run through these in 3 or 4 minutes right before you get ready to get into your nightly routine. That's what I do. Now, normally what I would suggest is that you sit down in quiet with a cup of tea, with the lights dimmed, and get into a zone where you can reflect. Now it's going to be different for everybody, and sometimes that reflection is super fast and it's 8 seconds. You're like, oh, I need to do this. This is about accountability. There is no tomorrow. I want to be very clear about this. I talk about it all the time. People will wait till tomorrow, and they will never move towards being who they could move towards being. And then one day they come to realize the truth. There are no more tomorrows. And then you die with regret if you have not done the things you said you were going to do. This is about accountability in your life, self-accountability, not accountability to me. I can't see any of this information or your answers, not accountability to your friends, not accountability to your family, accountability to you first. Because when you serve yourself first, you're able to better serve your family, your community, your children, your partner, your job, your church, everything. And so this is about showing up, because there's going to be nights you're tired. This is going to prompt you every night. It's going to send you a ding, a reminder, and you're going to have to make a choice. Are you going to ignore your life, or are you going to follow through with the promise that you made to yourself, right? And since this is free, like, this is what's interesting. Here's what I know about human nature. People will not do things for free. They will not do things for $100. They won't even do things that cost them $10,000 unless they decide. And so you make a decision right now, because when you get in this night, this is my favorite part. I actually prefer the evening part of the whole challenge. The first question: how was I unbroken today? How was I unbroken today? How did you show up today? How did you show up in a way that was about your future, about betterment, about not being broken, about being the opposite of everything everyone always told you? And it's often very simple, right? It's these incremental changes of our life that become monumental, right? It's not these giant leaps forward. It's, what did I do today? What was the one thing? How did I show up today that I was unbroken? Where did I show up in a way that I hadn't before, because I've been doing the work, because I've been healing, right? And that could be very simple. I got into an argument with someone at work and I didn't yell at them, because I paused for a moment and I took a breath and I realized it's not that big of a deal, right? That's being unbroken, just changing of the behavioral patterns. And then, what was the best part of the day? Find it. There was something about today that was phenomenal, that was magical, that made you feel great about your life. Own it. Own that, because you deserve to. And so often we don't give that to ourselves. We just go, oh, today was all right. Today wasn't all right. Today was amazing if you choose to look for that. The third one, and I know this is going to be difficult for a lot of people, but it needs to be in here. It's difficult for me sometimes, and that's why it's in here. What is one thing that I am proud of that I did? Not 37 things, one thing. What is one thing that I'm proud of that I did today? Right? There's something. You find it, you seek it, you pull it out of yourself, and you write it down, because it matters. Because guess what? In 66 days, that's going to be 66 things that you are proud of. That's a lot. That's a lot, right? Number 4, what could I have handled better today? There's always something that we could have handled a little bit better, right? And this is not about beating ourselves up. Let's be clear about that. It's just about noticing, about paying attention, about seeing where we can step up our game a little bit, right? Where could I have been? And this is also, like, just for clarity, this is about some massive honesty with yourself. Massive honesty, okay? So get clear about how you could have handled today better. And then, what is one way that I can improve for tomorrow? I always ask myself, who do I need to be today for tomorrow? And because I'm, like, reflecting on that frequently, by the end of my night, I'm asking myself, what is one way that I can improve for tomorrow? What is just a little bit, incremental, just a little bit of an improvement? Like, what can I do? What can I do? And then the last part of all this as well, I said there were 5 questions, and then there's one prompt. You're going to write your goals. Write your goals. If you have 3 of them, 4 of them, 5 of them, 20 of them, it doesn't matter. Write your goals. I write my goals every single day, no matter what, because I know what I'm moving towards when I'm doing that. And so you're going to write your goals. And then what's really interesting about this challenge, it's a rinse and repeat. So every day you'll have your Unbroken Challenge morning, your Unbroken Challenge evening, and that's it. And look, I thought for a long time, I pondered this. I was like, should I charge people for this? I mean, I have to pay for the company to host it. I have to do all this stuff. Should I charge? And I thought to myself, no. This is an area I don't want to charge people, because I want you to create accountability for yourself. And I thought about it, I was like, this isn't, like, if you had to pay for this, there are people who are going to be like, I paid for it, so I'm accountable to the money. I paid for it, so I'm accountable to Michael. That's not how I want you to look at this. This is about accountability to yourself. And so what you're going to do is you're going to go on the iTunes store or the Android store, You're going to look up Think Unbroken. You're going to download the app. You're going to create an account. It's going to automatically throw you into the 7-day challenge. That's a free challenge that's in there. That is not the same as the 66-day Unbroken Warrior Daily challenge. So let's be clear about that. What you need to do is hit the settings icon at the bottom, go to invite ID, and type in UWDC. Unbroken Warrior Daily Challenge. All right. That's going to get you access to this, and it's going to start immediately. And your goal is to show up and do this every single day. And I know it's going to sound monotonous. I know it sounds boring, but I promise you, if I could point my finger to the one thing that has changed my life more than anything, and so many people talk about this. I mean, go read, James Clear's books, Atomic Habits. He points to it. Go look at Tom Bilyeu's manifesto. He points at. Go think about all these people who do this. Tony Robbins. One person who comes to mind who I love, Mel Robbins. Go look at Mel Robbins' daily routine. Her life was crazy for a while. Look at Marie Forleo's daily routine. Like all these people. And you don't have to do this. You don't have to. But if you want to go to the next level, if you really want to tap into what it means to be unbroken, this is it. And bonus, you're going to get put into the Unbroken Challenge community in the app, where you're going to be able to go back and forth with all the people that are in there. And this is free. And if you want to do it again at the end of 66 days because you love it, you'll get to do it again. And as long as the app is in the App Store, and as long as we're doing Think Unbroken, this is going to be here for you, because we want you to come together. Like, yes, it's going to be difficult. Yes, there's going to be days that you forget. But guess what? You don't get to give yourself that space of forgetting. You have to make a decision. When you go download this app, you join this program, you're making a decision. You're choosing to do this. You're deciding that it's for your betterment and for your future, because you want to be unbroken. So again, check out the App Store. Just go to Think Unbroken in the App Store, iTunes or Android. It's super easy. Download the app, register, click settings, put in the ID, UWDC, and you'll get access to the challenge. Thank you so much for being here, my friends. I appreciate you greatly. Please be unbroken. I'll see you.
Unbroken Nation, hope that you just got a tremendous amount of value from today's episode. I want to know what you think. Please do me a favor and review, rate, and share the episode with 3 friends on social media today. It would mean the world if you did, because ultimately at the end of the day, creating community and connection is how we heal generational trauma in the world. And I need your help to do that, Unbroken Nation. So if you're on iTunes or Spotify or wherever you are, please like, comment, share, review. I want to know not only what you like about the show, but how I can make the show better, how I can make this further about helping you on your healing journey. So do me a favor, and when you do, shoot me a screenshot of you making the review to my DM at Michael Unbroken on Instagram, so that I can have a conversation with you, say hi, and more importantly, so I can share it with the Unbroken Nation. Thank you so much, my friend. Hey, my friends, we will be right back to the show. But I have a question for you. Are you struggling with the impact of childhood trauma? Well, know that you're not alone. I'm here to let you know that I'm starting a brand new weekly coaching group that includes a year of live coaching, accountability, support, habit and goal setting, and more. I'm starting a waitlist for the group right now, and I'm only taking a handful of people. And I'll let you know that through this personalized coaching, we'll work together to help you understand how your childhood trauma has shaped your beliefs, behaviors, emotions, and will help you create a roadmap for healing and growth. Right now, you can schedule an absolutely free coaching session with me and get put on the wait list if you go to thinkunbroken.com. My friends, it's your time to turn your trauma into triumph, breakdowns into breakthroughs, and become the hero of your own story. And I'm here to support you in doing that. Just go to thinkunbroken.com to register for a free coaching call with me and to get put on the wait list for the brand new weekly coaching program.